fib is a fiction. A theory is a clear and objective description of that which exists, how it is, how it isn't, by history or science or some defined discipline, and so theory goes. If you hold the opinion that truth is so easily known and envisioned, but what if, quote, truth as you know it is hidden by myths you've been told that you don't know you're living? What if powers that be control how the truth's given, and even how science and history are written, and even the means of theorizing's conditioned by the interest of those in the power position? Well, in that case, our theories would need criticism, and this is called critical theory. Its mission to sift out the shit and call out the system. What system is it? It's capitalism.
Roll your paradise, make your paradigms, break no paradigms. They tell me this is paradise.
It started with a question within Marxism. Is the revolution working? Oh, darn it isn't. Well, the Bolsheviks revolted, the autocrats co-opted it, but the problem's not communist, the problem is consciousness. All we can think is what we have known, and all we've ever known is that things can be owned, and to bite, scratch, and claw to get your possessions. And life is a bitch if dog eat dog's your first premise. It's get what you get since the get-go, it's endless. The notion's so close we don't notice its presence. Every system we inscribes reinstated its essence in hieroglyphs, Bibles, and declarations of independence. All of our relations, a human and their nation, a human and another human, a human and Mother Nature, are reduced to an equation of consumeristic labor. You know what I'm saying? You get what you pay for.
My ancestors own people, my creditors own me though. It's not the same thing, but there's many kinds of evil. But we don't even overthrow the powers that be though, cause we really don't even know how to be free. Oh, and even if we did know how, would we want to be? Don't we want jobs and a solid economy? People gotta eat, it's Nathan's hot dogs or me. We've got it all, but it's all ideology.
The system may seem natural, but it keeps you in place. It makes it seem natural to work cheap at a pizza place. It makes it seem natural to divide the species by class and race. It makes it seem unnatural to stop and seek peace and grace. Nothing against pizza. Pizza's delicious, but the idea that you need it is cheesy and insidious. No matter how you slice it, we're defined by our interests in a circle of supply and demand, which is vicious. And I may understand this and say it in rap spits and pray my supply matches what your demand is. Yet I must admit, in spite of this rap song, even I had to buy Das Kapital on Amazon. Ain't that ironic? You called it Alanis. You call yourself leftist, you're probably capitalist. Not that you don't mean your call out sincerely. This irony is acknowledged by critical theory.
Roll your paradise, take your paradigms, break no paradigms, prepare to die in paradise. If I only knew how to be free. Theoretically.
So critical theory looks at our history, all of its books and ambiguous victories, all of its answers and questions them critically. Why everyone says they want freedom but isn't free. And so what began in the context of economics became a critique of a complex of concepts that constitute the basis of the ideological constructs that course through our culture and complicate all of it. And it's the predecessor of identity politics and feminist call-outs of patriarchal nonsense and critiques of white privilege and fights for racial justice that say what's left unsaid and just how unjust it is. And make you wake up to what's real till you're woke to the wheel of control in which you're a mere spoke. For the system's not broken, it breaks you, you're broke. And it ain't funny, bro, your truth is a joke. But then here's a problem. If all I've been told is a product of forces and forms of control that inform all I do when I'm thinking of stuff, well then how I know who to be critical of? Take a pair of sources of important information, like a couple of our never-ending news organizations making two new contradictory yet very forceful statements. Who's to say which of the two you should believe and who to take a spin? You may be moved to say whichever is based upon the evidence, but if you had the evidence, you'd only then make sense of it, directed through the prism of whatever your perspective is, perspective that's affected by whatever else is said to it. But if it's all relative, then how is there a hell to give? Even that it's relative itself is kinda relative, whether you're a liberal with conservative relatives or a rebel who would kill to live well in the hell you live. And this is relevant, since critical questioning gets weaponized by your side and your enemies, characterizing this 21st century in endless critique with increasing intensity. And so a theory that's designed to find and call out all the liars now is also called upon by those designing to divide us. It's the tool that's used to fight the privileged class and bank insiders, but it's also used to justify the climate change deniers. It's the basis of all of the words in these raps, but also fake news and alternative facts. Even maniacs and bigots try to speak their truth to power. Each is saying louder that their truth is ours. I don't know what's true. I too am a part of it. The tool is double-edged. Choose your department. I do art. I'm a dude in an apartment. I don't know what to do, though I try to regardless. For myths are not replaced by truths, but by other myths that get more use. The myth uses us. It's us who invented it. Let's invent some that have mutual benefit. History's history. Let's see how it ends. Let's be each other's critics and friends. Let's tear it all down, build something fine. All theories aside, it's a critical time.
Roll your paradise, make your paradigms, break your paradigms. They tell me this is paradise. I only knew how to be free.
Theoretically.